In a world of cultural Marxism and political correctness gone mad, good advice is hard to come by. Unless you ask an asshole. AskConsulting.com will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And if you don't like it, triple corn dog wah. Go to AskConsulting.com today and bring some numbing cream.
What's up, you wart-infested snot pockets? Terrence Popp here, Redonkulas.com. Bad Popp showed up today because it is laundry day, but I have good and bad news for you. It is time for Star Warts number 4, A New Grope. Because that's the only safe kind of contact that you can have with Miss Amy Wharton, if you know what I mean. It's been 9 months since our last episode on this Can't Understand Normal Thinker. That would be long enough for her to, I don't know, have a baby, but we all know that's never gonna happen, Screen 5. The closest that she's ever gonna get to that, or the afterbirth, is her new website.
Expression equals evolution. Hello and welcome, read, enjoy, and please contact me if anything appeals to your heart and mind. My goal is to foster connection, dialogue, and authenticity by sharing my personal truth.
Personal truth, aka living a lie. Winning no. Gentlemen, I know this is not your first rodeo, but if you're new to this site, please pour yourself a menagerie and don't skimp because you're gonna need it. Yeah. I know this is some low-hanging fruit, kind of like her tits because she smashed into the wall, but hey, I can't turn it away.
It's practically impossible to find a man who wants to commit but doesn't want kids.
Mama? You want to know why that is? Pour yourself a shot, I'll wait. Number 1, you have HPV, and anyone with access to Google knows it. Number 2, we live in the Me Too era, and the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, baby. And number 3, especially today, the only reason for a man to commit is to have a family. Men used to marry for sex, but now we can get sex anywhere. And I do mean anywhere. Not that I know anything about that, but hey, Space Ghost is on. Women, not men, deregulated the sexual marketplace. Because you deserve to ride the carousel as long as you want without any negative repercussions. But you're a woman. I don't make the rules. I just live by them. You can claim you're equal to men all you want, but you will never be judged like one.
I finally figured out one of the huge issues in my dating life.
Warts! Screen 5.
I'm seeking the kind of man who unfortunately exists only in a small and very specific category.
Mark of the beast. 6-inch penis, 6 feet tall, 6-figure income. Want to smell it?
Here's why I can't seem to find what I'm looking for.
Well, that's because that criteria applies to less than 6% of the male population. Good luck with that.
Number 1, a lot of men are afraid of commitment.
And yet, 80% of divorces filed by women. Screen 5.
You were right. Of course I was. What are we talking about?
I've never understood what the big deal is, but okay, there's honestly no good reason I can think of for a man to hate the idea of a relationship unless he's an a-hole.
Gee, it couldn't have anything to do with the fact that you're a diseased, self-centered biatcha.
By not wanting to commit, he's basically saying he's waiting for something better to come along.
Well, he's waiting for something younger, hotter, and still has her fertility. Oh, wait, he just left. Screen 5.
There's no way I'm settling for that kind of guy.
Correction! That guy is never gonna settle for you. In fact, that is the reason you're writing this article. Single dudes in their 30s whose blood type is not soy don't write articles like this. Go ahead and think about that, ladies. I'll wait.
Number 2, the grass is always greener to them.
Do I have to say it again? 80% of divorces are filed by women.
For the guys who don't want to settle down,
Women.
they can't understand why they should commit.
No, the correct phrase is they understand why they should not commit. Go ahead, baby. Sell me on marriage. I fucking dare you. I'm listening.
Well, you get a tax break.
Big fucking deal when you compare that to the loss of half his shit and alimony.
You can get sex whenever you want.
For the first 6 months, and then it's every time she wants, and you can get charged with marital rape.
You get to live longer.
As a wage slave.
You get live-in companionship.
I can get that with a dog.
She'll take care of your house.
Oh, until she decides she wants out, and then you're 60 days away from homelessness. How do I know? Fucking happened to me. I survived on the dollar menu from McDonald's, and that is a whole lot of diarrhea, and not the kind that comes out of your mouth. And I made a whole episode about that. Here it is.
I'm Stacy. What does it matter?
Well, if you don't want to be homeless and keep all your shit and have a career, it means a lot.
They don't want to have a family, so they don't have to stick to only one woman.
No, they just don't want to have a family with you. At your age, men don't want to risk having children who are down with the syndrome, if you know what I mean. Or worse yet, they're so infected with HPV they look like they're wearing tree bark. Links in the description.
They want to be free to roam as they please. The feelings of other human beings be damned.
That is perfectly okay if you're a woman, right?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Number 3, the best dating/relationships advice on the web. Sponsored.
What the fuck was that? Dating advice from women? That's like going to Bill Clinton for advice on marital fidelity, Screen 5.
Are you sick and tired of gynocentric entertainment that depicts men as incompetent pussies? Go balls deep inside an underworld of evil, lust, and violence with Invictus Rex. A launch pad for a series of thrillers written for the kind of politically incorrect men who love detonating truth bombs in the culture war. Get your copy today on Amazon. A link is in the description.
Number 4, if they are into commitment, it's because they want to settle down and start a family.
Because that is the only legitimate reason for a man these days to commit. And if you don't like it, Miss Wharton, I got 5 words and a comma. So what, comma? I don't care. And if you want to see those words on a t-shirt, just let us know in the comments, because it's coming.
This is my huge problem.
Baby, you have a huge list of problems, and we just don't have that kind of time.
I'm attracted to men who aren't afraid to show their feelings and be in a monogamous relationship with one woman.
Oh, shit. Wow. That was such a huge f***ing lie. It actually hurt my feelings, Space Ghost.
I'm attracted to emotional maturity.
You say that now because that line for your Arby's takeout window is looking a little sparse. You spent your 20s riding the carousel, and your favorite animal? The hobby horse.
I have no problem with swallowing. I don't even think I've ever spit in my life.
And I wouldn't be surprised if some of that milk came out chocolate. Oh God, I made a whole video about it. Here it is, Space Ghost. Oh. It's, spilled it. Oh God.
Unfortunately, I find that especially as I get older, the men who operate this way also want children. I definitely don't.
Except you're forgetting there's one thing I could do now.
Number 5, there's hardly any middle ground.
So you're expecting a high-value, top-tier man to provide you with the lifestyle that you want, and all you have in return is warts.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen.
Who has the right to complain about the lack of middle ground here, honey?
I'm in the middle, but I have a very difficult time finding a man who feels the same.
Well, that's because every man has already driven up your middle, if you know what I mean, Screen 5.
It's black and white with them.
Racist much?
Their main concern is sex, so why would they decide to sleep with only one woman for the rest of time if not obligated?
We've all heard the expression, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? And make no mistake, ladies, you are the dairy farmers. If you want to sell that cow, quit giving away the milk for free. You sluts.
The only way they seem to want to do that is if they want marriage and a family, and even then, they often can't stick to it.
So says the woman who's never gonna get married. Wah. Oh, and by the way, women cheat more than men now. And until you're ready to write that article, shut the f*** up.
Number 6, finding a guy who's cool with long-term monogamy and no kids is like finding a unicorn.
Until you can show me the upside of that arrangement, just go back to what you were doing. You know, more cock!
Not gonna lie, we ladies, we get really confused by balls. I'm really confused by balls.
It seriously is. I'm in my 30s, so the whole settling down and starting a family thing is way more of an issue when I date now. I never wanted children, and I'm not going to change my mind. I find that most men I meet now feel the opposite.
Whose fault is that? It certainly is not their fault.
Number 7, some men just don't want to commit to me.
Well, at least you know now, and knowing is half the battle. Space Ghost.
I'm a strong woman.
You're gonna have to do a lot better than that.
Listen, strong women realize that it's nice to have a strong man. Strong women are not bitchy, lonely cocksockets.
I know what I deserve and I won't settle for less.
Hey, that line might have worked for you when you're 25, but you're 35 now, and less is all you're gonna get. I wish I could say less is more, but in this case, less really means less.
I meet a good number of guys who can't handle this.
You can't handle the truth!
They can handle this just fine. The only one in this equation who can't is you.
Obviously, if they can't hang, I don't want them anyway, but it's getting very frustrating and discouraging.
You want to know why? Because you refuse to accept the truth. Feminism lied to you, and pretty soon you're gonna be OPAF. Old, poor, powerless, and forgotten. As a betting man, let's see what I got here. I'm gonna lay my money on this. Before you got warts, you probably had a half a dozen dudes in your life who would have made you happy. But you're a goddamn liar. Those men had the emotional maturity that you claim you're attracted to. And we all know the truth. You in reality are attracted to the emotional roller coaster. Say what you will about relationships with bad boys, they are anything but boring. It's the best 4th of July cock you ever rode. The highs are super high, the lows super low, and you can bitch about it to all your friends and get their sympathy. But that's not gonna happen with a good dude who's gonna treat you right. So what happened? You got bored and kicked him to the curb for the next cock. And 7 years later, when you tried to sling him back, you realized he married younger and hotter than you. And if you're not familiar with the Slingback Effect, I made a whole episode about that. Here it is, check it out. Yeah!
Where are the grown men? I can't seem to find any. It doesn't matter if they're younger, older, single, divorced, whatever. They run away.
From you? You're the problem here, the common denominator. What sane man is gonna write a check against an infertile picky bitch with warts?
It is tempting.
Number 8, the rest are only interested in wifing me up.
Who are these men? The rest? Oh, you mean male feminists, don't ya? They're a bunch of white knight manginas with more soy than good sense. And I made a whole episode about them called White Knight Syndrome. Check it out.
If they want to commit to me, it's because they see a tough, smart woman who is capable of starting and raising a family with them. My biggest pet peeve is a man who is attracted to me and then tries to convince me that I will change my mind about kids because that's what he wants.
Because in your eyes, his wants, needs, and feelings are completely worthless. And yet you still want a dude to write a check against you. How the hell does that even work? Just another worthless bitch who admits that women are allowed to have standards and men are not. Women should never settle, but men, they need to learn how to compromise.
Would you ever f*** a zombie?
Bad Pop's got bad news. The end? It's extremely f***ing nigh.
You can't kill something that's already dead.
And the only thing standing in between you and a horde of the undead is toxic masculinity. Weh? So hold on to your butts and get set for Red Days. Get your copy on DVD or Blu-ray on Amazon today. A link is in the description, bitches.
It's a right provided to them by the queen.
F her, she's a whore.
Number 9, men don't want to accept that I know what I want.
Sorry to break the news to you, baby, but if you knew what you wanted, you'd be happy.
It's incredibly insulting.
That you expect me to believe you, Space Ghost.
I hate that I live in a world where a large majority of guys think they can mansplain to me about what I really want for my own damn life.
Hey, with that one word, my brain power just went down to 25%. Listen, they are not mansplaining to you, they are telling you what they want. And if you refuse to provide that, guess what? They're out of there. Why are your preferences more important than somebody else's? Why are your choices right and his choices sexist?
Give me a break.
I know, right? You're a goddamn idiot, Space Ghost.
You don't know me, and you certainly can't tell me how I feel. You aren't going to change my mind about kids, period.
And from the bottom of my black dead heart, I want to thank you for that. You are a poisonous, treacherous asshole, and you're doing the world a favor by not spreading your seed.
Number 10, if I finally do meet a guy who feels the same, he ends up running away.
From you, because again, you're the common denominator and you chased them away.
I don't get excited often, but when I do, I get very excited.
But thanks to early menopause, wetness is probably out of the equation, Screen 5.
I can't help it.
Actually, you can if you buy some lube, and you should probably talk to the girl who fingers her own ass.
It's so rare that I meet a guy who I have a lot in common with and share chemistry with as well.
Well, that's what happens when you get old, poor, powerless, and fat.
I want it to work out so badly, and unfortunately, it never does.
Gee, I wonder why. When?
It turns out that the guys I pick aren't emotionally mature enough to date me. Great!
I will admit this. It is nice that you call yourself a liar. You claim that you're attracted to emotionally mature men, but you're attracted to men who are not emotionally mature. It's like a dog chasing his own tail, except it's chasing a bunch of cock, and it's absolutely hilarious and shameful at the same time.
I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it.
Number 11, it's very frustrating to need something this specific.
Well, I understand if you can specify what the hell you're talking about.
It's tough because on top of all the other specific things I want, I'm effectively eliminating the majority of the male population right off the bat.
Wow, it's nice of you to be so honest, huh? It only took 4 articles.
I have a small pool to draw from, and then I also have to find someone I actually like and share interests with who is cool with committing to me.
Good luck with that, baby, because that pool is shrinking by the day. At this point, you'd get a more satisfying swim out of a puppy's piss puddle.
Number 12, I hate it when guys try to date me even when we don't want the same things.
And in your 20s, you were just fine with this treatment.
You're gonna cry about some jizz? Come on, you've eaten worse tasting stuff in your life.
Now you're in your 30s, staring down the wall, and this shit isn't funny anymore.
Nope, never mind.
Women lose their value as they age. Men gain it. And once a man reaches the age of 34, and that is when the big head overpowers the little head, he truly understands his value. And he comes to realize you are not the prize, and you never were. The only things you have to offer are depreciating assets, and he'll only invest maybe 3 to 7 minutes of his time, Screen 5.
This is obnoxious.
Yes, you are.
Their intentions usually aren't bad, but I need a guy who's realistic.
I agree. You need someone to balance out your bullshit.
It's a huge sign of emotional immaturity if a man commits to me in the hopes that I'll change my mind about something to which I'm clearly strongly opposed.
No, it is a huge sign of emotional immaturity to expect a man to change for you. It is emotionally immature to expect everything and provide nothing. You expect a man to write a check against you now for shit you gave away for free in your 20s. After 268 cocks, and I'm being conservative here, you're really not worth anything anymore, I'm sorry. You see this? This is Amy.
Name redacted.
It's empty, drained of its value. Now you see this? This is a young hottie right out of high school going into college, and it hasn't even had its top popped yet. I will pay full value for this. One of these things is not like the other, and one of these things does not belong. Sorry, Amy.
Don't lead me on and let me develop feelings. If someone doesn't want what I want, he should leave me alone.
Well, Amy, not for nothing, but that's exactly what we're doing.
Number 13, I just want to meet my person already, but he's so tough to find.
You already met him, and you kicked him to the curb. And he married a younger, hotter version of you who doesn't have warts, and they have kids.
Maybe I should create a dating site specifically for people who want long-term relationships but don't want children. I don't know.
And when you do, please let us know so we can make an episode about it, because it would be hilarious.
What's it going to take to find the right guy?
That would be a lady in her 20s who has her fertility, that keeps her mouth shut and her legs open, screen 5.
It's not like I have time to go out trolling for dudes 24/7.
Nope, you probably just write articles about it. Wah.
I'm a busy woman.
Doing what? And vibrators don't count.
What if I never meet anyone?
That would be the same as pretty much every other day.
Pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you.
I'll survive, but it's undeniable that my specific needs make everything about my dating life more difficult.
Congratulations! You discovered that you're the problem, and maybe you should try to fix that. We made a whole episode about women like you who f***ed up their lives and they want to fix it. It's called Salvage Efforts. Check it out. But I have a strong inclination that it's too late for you, and probably has something to do with the warts. And that's the disease you're willing to admit to. As a betting man, it probably gets much worse.
Herpes. 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 Your turn.
Now, this is just my opinion, so don't sue me if you know what I mean. You claim you don't want to have any kids. I'm betting that you can't. Women in their 30s claim they're still single because they refuse to settle. But in reality, they just don't like the options that are available to them. The bad boys that they used to bang are now fat and bald and work as a checkout boy at the grocery store. You know, ladies, where you buy your wine, kitty litter, and your Rocky Road ice cream. And the beta males they passed up in their 20s are now rich, have money, and dating younger women. Guess what that leaves you with, huh? The leftovers. Amy, I know you hate me, and you're gonna report this channel again. But what the hell would I know? I'm just an old infantry grunt. But I promise you, I'm emotionally mature. You don't have to believe me, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit. In fact, I can't even hear you over the sound of all the Space Ghost that's playing. We can't even keep a straight face. No. The closest that she's ever gonna get. All right, hang on. Stop making me laugh. Stop. Well, a woman in her 20s who has her fertility can handle her shit, shuts her mouth, and you know.
I think keeps her mouth shut and her legs open.
I don't want to say that.
Come on, f you.
F you.
Fucking say it anyway.
All right.
I'll break a beer bottle over your head, you fucking grunt.
You fucking say it. Say it. Say it. All right. Say it again.